High General Krath leaned back and laughed loudly. His golden armor clinked with every movement. Who sent this nonsense? He growled. Humans? You mean the dirt world creatures from Sector 9-2? Another leader, thin and covered in blue scales, chuckled. The message came from the old Varn Empire, but they've been dead for 200 years. A few more aliens around the table laughed. They were all members of the Galactic Core, the ruling group of 12 civilizations, who controlled most of the galaxy. They had crushed thousands of planets. Earth was just another name in their system, but one alien didn't laugh. Commander Threx kept his eyes on the red message. His dark purple skin twitched as he read it again. He had been quiet the whole time. Finally he said, "We shouldn't." "Ignore this." Krath rolled his eyes. "You've always been too cautious, Threx." "I've seen what humans can do," Threx replied softly. 20 years ago, we lost a stealth scout team in their solar system. No signal, no wreckage, just gone. "Maybe they fell into a sun," joked the blue-scaled alien. Threx turned. To face him, 3 ships, trained in deep cloak. Gone without trace. You think that's normal? The room fell silent for a moment. A few eyes shifted uncomfortably. But Kraft stood and slammed his fist on the table. "We are the Galactic Core. Our fleets can crush planets in hours. If humans are hiding something, we'll find it and break it. I vote we send a scout ship to Earth immediately." The others nodded. All except Threx. 4 days later, a black ship the size of a city slipped out of hyperspace. It coasted silently toward Earth, hidden behind its stealth shields. Inside were 20 alien scouts, trained in every form of observation and survival. As they floated closer to Earth, strange things began to happen. "Commander," one of the crew said, "our sensors are acting strange. They say the planet is dead. But look," he pointed to the screen, showing bright cities glowing across the surface. "Reboot all scanners," the captain ordered. Another scout turned. "Communications are failing. I can't reach the relay stations. Something's jamming us." Outside, something passed by the ship fast and invisible. The crew didn't see it, but the systems did. Then one by one, the lights on the ship began to go out, main power dropping. Shouted an officer. "All systems are shutting down, autopilot, life support, everything." The captain's voice trembled. "We've been detected. Shields up now." But it was too late. A white flash exploded inside the ship. Everyone screamed. As the floor tilted and alarms rang, the last thing the captain saw was a single word appearing on every screen, written in human code: "Observed." Back on the Galactic Core's command planet, the 12 leaders waited for a signal. They waited an hour, then a day. Then 3 days, still nothing. Impossible. Kraft growled. Even if they were attacked, their distress beacons would have reached us. Threx stood in the shadows. "I warned you." "They didn't just disappear. They were removed." The blue-scaled alien spoke again. "We need answers. If the scouts failed, then we must go ourselves." Kraft slammed the table. "Agreed. I'll take a war fleet. Earth will answer to us." "No!" Threx shouted. Everyone turned to him. "Do not attack Earth. You think they're weak, but you don't understand. Every sign says they're far ahead of us. They just hide it." Kraft laughed. "You sound like an old priest fearing ghosts." Threx took a deep breath. "Have you ever asked why no empire has ever fully conquered Earth? Not even the ancients? They all tried, all failed." Another alien leader frowned. "That's just myth. Legends from before warp travel." "They aren't myths," Threx replied. "They're warnings." Later that night, Threx sat alone in his private chamber. He accessed an old hidden file, a transmission over 200 years old. Static crackled across the screen. Then, voice spoke. "Human, if you're hearing this." Then someone ignored the warning. "Earth is not weak. It is patient. It is silent. It is watching. The screen glitched. A human face appeared. Calm, cold, eyes glowing. Do not challenge us. We do not start wars. We end them. Then darkness. Threx turned off the screen and stared into space. Somewhere out there, Earth was watching. And now, they knew the Galactic core had made a move. The next morning, a new message floated above the Galactic Council's table. It wasn't red. It was black. Burned into their communication system. You were warned. The alien ship floated just outside Earth's orbit, hidden behind layers of advanced cloaking. It was called the Veil, a dark silent vessel designed for observation, not war. Inside, the crew of 30 elite scouts from the Galactic core watched. Earth with curiosity and confidence. Still no signal from the previous scout team, said Officer Varn, tapping on a glowing console. Captain Euro stood beside him, tall and covered in silver-gray armor. Keep scanning. Their black box should have transmitted something. Unless, said another officer, they were destroyed before it could. Euro's expression tightened. We were told humans are primitive, that they live in chaos, that they fight each other. So how did they erase an entire ship without firing a shot? No one answered. The planet below looked peaceful. Green lands, blue oceans, lights glowing across continents. Cities filled with life. I see no orbital defense systems, said Varn. No space fleets, no deep-range weapons. Maybe that's the trick, Euro said quietly. They want us to believe. They're defenseless. One of the engineers laughed. Captain, with respect, they are defenseless. Earth still uses combustion vehicles and fossil fuel power. They haven't even colonized their moon. Another officer added, we could conquer this planet in under 6 hours. Euro raised his hand. No one underestimates a predator until it's too late. This mission is only for observation. No contact. No engagement. But Faye had other plans. As the Veil moved into a closer orbit, the ship's lights flickered. What was that? Asked the communications officer. Energy fluctuation. A small pulse. It's coming from Earth's surface. From where? The screen zoomed in on a desert in a place called Nevada. There's a structure there, said the officer. Underground. It's not showing on any human network. Cloaked facility? Asked Euro. Possibly. But how? Their tech is 2 centuries behind ours. Euro's eyes narrowed. Send a probe, quietly. The probe left the ship small, black, and invisible to the human eye. It entered Earth's atmosphere, flying silently toward the desert. As it reached the location, something strange happened. The probe vanished. No explosion. No signal. It simply stopped existing. The ship's crew stared at the blank screen. Try again, Euro ordered. A second probe was launched. Same path. Same result. Gone. This time, a single word came through just before the signal cut. Watched. Silence. Fell across the command deck. Euro turned to his crew. Activate defensive protocol. Prepare for extraction if needed. Sir, said Varn, we are not under attack. Euro pointed at the screens. We are being warned. Just then, alarms began to sound. The ship rocked. What's happening? Shouted the engineer. Our cloak, it's being unraveled. How? I don't know. Something's scanning us from Earth. On the main screen, a blue beam shot up from the surface. It moved across the ship slowly, like a spotlight searching the darkness. We're visible, the officer said. Earth can see us now. Shut it down, Euro shouted. Deactivate all signals. Back away. The beam disappeared. Moment, everything was quiet again. Then a message appeared on every console in the alien ship. Now we see you. Panic spread through the crew. Sir, said Varn, we need to leave orbit now. Euro nodded. Set course, get us out of this system. Suddenly, the lights on the bridge turned red. The ship's AI spoke. Critical threat detected. Unknown technology has entered the mainframe. Are we being hacked? Shouted the engineer. No system breach. It's something else. It's rewriting our code. Lines of alien code began to disappear, replaced by Earth's languages English. Chinese, Arabic, Russian all overlapping. The main screen went black, then a human face appeared, a woman. Pale, silent, with dark eyes, she said nothing. She only stared and then the screen flashed one final message. You were told not to look. The veil lost control. Lights shut off. Engines powered down. Gravity failed. The crew floated in panic. Get the backups online. They're gone. Who shut them off? No one did. The ship is surrendering. The room froze as a slow sound filled the air knocking but it wasn't inside the ship it was coming from outside. Metal on metal knock, knock, knock. The ship floated alone, powerless, as something unseen tapped on its hull 3 times. Then silence again, back on the Galactic Core's homeworld. The council waited for a report. None came, only a strange broadcast it played across all channels, all screens, all systems. A single image, the Earth. Under it, glowing letters in red. First mistake. A new debate broke out in the council chamber. This was a trap. They baited us. They shouldn't have even known we were there. General Krath stood, angry as ever. This was not an attack. This was a demonstration. They could have destroyed the ship, but they didn't. Then why let it vanish? Someone asked. Because they wanted us to feel fear, Threx said softly from the corner. Krath turned. You again? I told you not to send anyone. I told you Earth doesn't play the same game. Krath leaned in. Then what do you suggest? We bow to a planet of apes. Threx stared into his eyes. I suggest we stop calling them apes. In the shadows of Earth's moon, something moved not human, not alien. Something waiting, because the first contact had happened, and the first mistake had already been made. The Galactic Core's War Council room was tense. The red lights flickered overhead as the leaders stared at the star map, where a cluster of 200 ships awaited orders near Earth's solar system. General, Krath slammed his fist on the table. They have defied us long enough. It is time to show the galaxy who rules. 200 warships, muttered Commander Threx, standing quietly at the back. That should be enough to end this. Krath turned sharply. You still doubt? US? I doubt we understand what we face, Threx replied calmly. This is not just a planet, it's a fortress. Krath laughed. You speak as if the humans built walls around the stars. They don't need to, Threx said. The stars are their walls. The fleet moved like a wave through space, heading straight for Earth. On board the flagship, Admiral Voss addressed his crew. Remember, this is a show of force, no mercy. We crush them quickly. The crew cheered. But deep beneath Earth's surface, in a hidden command center, humans watched the approaching fleet. Sensors show their numbers, Admiral, said Lieutenant Sarah. They bring everything. The Admiral nodded. Prepare the defenses. Activate the project. As the alien fleet reached Earth's orbit, their weapon systems powered up. They aimed massive cannons at the blue planet. Suddenly, the screens went dark. What's happening? Shouted an officer. Admiral Voss frowned. Check communications. No response. Ships began to lose power one by one. Engines sputtered. Weapons shut down. System failures spreading fast. An engineer cried. The flagship trembled violently. Message appeared on every screen in the fleet. You were warned. Panic exploded through the command bridges. What kind of weapon is this? A captain shouted. It's not a weapon, whispered Threx, who had arrived secretly on a smaller ship. It's a shutdown. Something that stops machines without breaking them. The fleet's fleet-wide AI began to malfunction. Commands overlapped and conflicted. Ships collided in space. Explosions erupted. One by one, The fleet disappeared into the darkness. No distress signals, no wreckage. Just silence. Back on Earth, Sarah watched the stars with calm eyes. "Project Phoenix is working," she said softly. "What is Project Phoenix?" asked a young soldier. "It's a secret program," Sarah explained. "A defense system built to protect Earth in case of invasion. It doesn't fight with guns. It fights with control." "Control?" the soldier asked. "Yes, we can reach into enemy ships and shut down their machines. We can control their technology and turn it off." In the silence of space, the alien fleet was gone. Admiral Voss's ship drifted alone, powerless. A voice crackled, "We are losing all control." "Tell the Corps," Voss said bitterly. "Tell them we failed." Back on the Galactic Corps' homeworld, the Council was in chaos. "How could this happen?" demanded Krath. "We sent our best, our strongest, and they vanished." Threk stepped forward. "Because we don't understand Earth. Because they don't fight like us." Krath growled. "We will send more ships, more soldiers." Threk shook his head. "That will not work." The warning was not just a threat, it was a promise. In the quiet halls beneath Earth's surface, Sarah and her team prepared for what was coming next. "Humanity is awake," she said, "and we will show the galaxy why no one should ever challenge us." Outside, the stars shone peacefully, but somewhere in the dark, something waited. Because the war was far from over. Deep inside the Galactic Corps' research lab, the air was thick with tension. Alien scientists worked around the clock, their eyes glued to glowing screens. On a large table in the center lay a small black device, an unknown piece of human technology recovered from the wreckage of the lost fleet. Lead scientist Zara stared at it, her many-fingered hands trembling. "This is unlike anything we have seen," she said. "It's not just a machine. It feels alive." Her assistant, Rill, nodded. "We tried to analyze the energy patterns, but it keeps changing, adapting." Zara frowned. "Run the standard code-breaking algorithms. Let's find out what it does." Hours passed. The machines hummed. Data poured in. But every time the scientists thought they had a lead, the device reacted, shutting down their systems or scrambling the codes. Rill looked up, worried. "It's resisting us. Every attempt fails. It's like it's protecting itself." Zara leaned closer. "It's more than protection. It's a warning." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the lab. "Security breach." A voice shouted. Scientists froze as the main screen flickered. Then a new message appeared. "Observe." In the council chambers, General Krath slammed his fist. "What does this mean? Are they mocking us?" Threx, standing calmly nearby, said, "No, it is a message. They want us to watch, to learn." Zara turned to Krath. "This technology, it's not just a weapon, it's a part of their defense." "How?" Kraft demanded. "The humans have a code hidden deep in their technology and biology," Zara explained. "It's like a living virus. It changes and adapts to threats." Rill added, "Our systems are compromised. The device spread a signal through our networks, something like a virus. But smarter." "Can we fight it?" Krath asked. Zara shook her head. "We don't know how." Meanwhile, deep on Earth, a group of scientists worked in silence. They monitored alien transmissions and their own secret projects. One scientist, Dr. Emily, looked at a screen filled with alien code. "This is amazing," she said softly. "They think they are attacking us, but we are protecting ourselves." Her colleague smiled. "It's the human code, our secret weapon. It's not just machines. It's our biology and our technology working together." "Exactly," Emily replied. "When aliens try to break it, it fights back. It learns. It protects." Back in the Galactic Core Lab, frustration grew. How can a species so simple create something so complex? Zara wondered aloud. Threx replied, "Humans are not simple. They hide their strength well. Suddenly, the device began to glow with a bright blue light. Screens flashed. The entire lab shook. Shut it down. Someone shouted, but it was too late. The blue light spread through the lab's machines, burning circuits. Data vanished. Systems crashed. The last thing the scientists saw on their monitors was a single word: watched. Outside the lab, Krath turned to Threx. What now? Threx answered calmly, now we learn, or we lose. The war had changed. The enemy was no longer a simple planet to conquer. It was a living, evolving code, one that could not be broken, and the humans were the key. The Galactic core was done waiting. Council leader Krath stood before a wall of screens showing Earth spinning quietly in the dark. His golden armor glowed under the red war lights. The chamber behind him buzzed with energy as fleet commanders prepared for launch. This time, Krath said coldly, we do not observe. We do not send scouts. We send everything. Council members around him nodded. Most were eager. A few looked unsure. But the vote was clear. War. Threx stood at the edge of the room, watching silently. He had warned them again and again. But no one listened. You can still stop this, he said quietly. Krath turned. And let Earth insult us without punishment? Never. You won't punish them, Threx replied. You'll wake something worse. Hours later, thousands of warships dropped out of hyperspace near Earth. The sky above the planet lit up with their arrival. The fleet formed tight attack lines, silent, heavy, prepared. Admiral Vorax, leader of the invasion fleet, sat on the bridge of the Titan-class dreadnought Stormfall. Target their satellites, he ordered. Disable communication. Crush their defenses before they can fight back. Cannons powered up, missiles locked in. But before the first shot was fired, the stars disappeared. Not all of them, just some. One by one, a creeping blackness moved in. The sky covering lights, distorting gravity. A shadow not cast by a planet or a ship. Something else. Admiral, said his second in command. Our sensors are showing ... nothing. What do you mean nothing? Exactly that. The stars in this region, they're gone. As IF deleted. Then it began. The human ships appeared, not hundreds, not even thousands. Just one, a small vessel, sleek and quiet, drifted in front of the entire alien fleet. Is that it? Someone laughed nervously. No weapons detected, said the sensor. Officer, no shields, no signals. It's bait, said Admiral Vorax. Destroy it. They fired everything they had, missiles, plasma beams, gravity bombs. But the human ship didn't move. The weapons passed through it, harmlessly, as if it wasn't even real. The ship flickered, then split into 5, then 50, then 500. Each one shaped like the first, still quiet, still harmless. But now they surrounded the fleet. Varax's voice dropped to a whisper. What is this? Back on Earth, deep underground, Dr. Emily watched the screens. Her team sat in silence. They fired first, one of her engineers said. Emily nodded. Good, the protocol will respond. What? Protocol? She leaned forward. Protocol Omega. In orbit, the alien fleet systems began failing. Engines shut down. Weapons refused to fire. Ships lost control and drifted apart. Inside the command center of Stormfall, officers screamed as screens exploded and lights flickered. Their ships are inside our code, someone shouted. They're rewriting us. I want backup control manual override. Vorax roared. No use, said a frightened voice. They're not attacking our ships. They're attacking our minds. Crew members collapsed one by one, grabbing their heads. Screaming. Dreams. Voices. Images. All entering their thoughts. All human. Some saw Earth's wars. Some saw Earth's beauty. But all felt one thing: rage. Not fear. Not chaos. Cold patient. Unstoppable rage. The kind that waits 100 years before speaking. The kind that remembers every insult. Back in the council chambers, Krath received the report. Only 2 words came through before the feed died. "We see you." Then silence. No signals. No ships. No survivors. The fleet. Gone. Threk stood with his arms crossed. "You wanted war," he said, voice low and calm. "You got terror instead." Krath turned, his voice shaking. "They didn't even fire." "Weapons," Threx nodded, "because they didn't have to." Somewhere in deep space, far beyond Earth's orbit, a black sphere floated quietly, no markings. No lights. Inside it, a single message pulsed on a loop. "War is noise. We prefer silence." The humans had spoken. Now the galaxy would listen. The Galactic core was done waiting. Council leader Krath stood before a wall of screens showing Earth spinning quietly in the dark. His golden armor glowed under the red war lights. The chamber behind him buzzed with energy as fleet commanders prepared for launch. "This time," Krath said coldly, "we do not observe. We do not send scouts. We send everything." Council members around him nodded. Most were eager. A few looked unsure. But the vote was clear. War. Threk stood at the edge of the room, watching silently. He had warned them again and again. But no one listened. "You can still stop this," he said quietly. Kraft turned. "And let Earth insult us without punishment? Never." "You won't punish them," Threx replied. "You'll wake something worse." Hours later, thousands of warships dropped out of hyperspace near Earth. The sky above the planet lit up with their arrival. The fleet formed tight attack lines, silent, heavy, prepared. Admiral Vorax, leader of the invasion fleet, sat on the bridge of the Titan-class dreadnought Stormfall. "Target their satellites," he ordered. "Disable communication. Crush their defenses before they can fight back." Cannons powered up, missiles locked in. But before the first shot was fired, the stars disappeared. Not all of them. Just some. One by one, a creeping blackness moved in. The sky covering lights, distorting gravity. A shadow not cast by a planet or a ship. "Something else, Admiral," said his second in command. "Our sensors are showing ... nothing." "What do you mean, nothing?" "Exactly that. The stars in this region, they're gone. As IF deleted." Then it began. The human ships appeared, not hundreds, not even thousands. Just one, a small vessel, sleek and quiet, drifted in front of the entire alien fleet. "Is that it?" Someone laughed nervously. "No weapons detected," said the sensor. "Officer, no shields, no signals." "It's bait," said Admiral Vorax. "Destroy it." They fired everything they had, missiles, plasma beams, gravity bombs, but the human ship didn't move. The weapons passed through it, harmlessly, as if it wasn't even real. The ship flickered, then split into 5, then 50, then 500. Each one shaped like the first, still quiet, still harmless. But now they surrounded the fleet. Varax's voice dropped to a whisper. "What is this?" Back on Earth, deep underground, Dr. Emily watched the screens. Her team sat in silence. "They fired first," one of her engineers said. Emily nodded. "Good. The protocol will respond." "What? Protocol?" She leaned forward. "Protocol Omega." In orbit, the alien fleet systems began failing. Engines shut down. Weapons refused to fire. Ships lost control and drifted apart. Inside the command center of Stormfall, officers screamed as screens exploded and lights flickered. "Their ships are inside our code," someone shouted. "They're rewriting us. I want backup control manual override." Vorax roared. "No use," said a frightened voice. "They're not attacking our ships. They're attacking our minds." Crew members collapsed one by one, grabbing their heads. Screaming. Dreams. Voices. Images. All entering their thoughts. All human. Some saw Earth's wars. Some saw Earth's beauty. But all felt one thing: rage. Not fear. Not chaos. Cold, patient. Unstoppable rage. The kind that waits 100 years before speaking. The kind that remembers every insult. Back in the council chambers, Krath received the report. Only 2 words came through before the feed died. "We see you." Then silence. No signals. No ships. No survivors. The fleet. Gone. Threk stood with his arms crossed. "You wanted war," he said, voice low and calm. "You got terror instead." Krath turned, his voice shaking. "They didn't even fire." "Weapons," Threx nodded, "because they didn't have to." Somewhere in deep space, far beyond Earth's orbit, a black sphere floated quietly, no markings. No lights. Inside it, a single message pulsed on a loop. "War is noise. We prefer silence." The humans had spoken. Now the galaxy would listen. The sky above the ruined planet glowed red. Ash floated like snow through the air. Once, this world was home to billions. Now only silence remained. A single drone hovered above the surface, scanning. Its camera blinked and sent a signal across. The stars. Far away, deep inside Earth's secure command bunker. The signal arrived. "Another one," said Captain Leon, eyes fixed on the screen. General Harrow stepped closer. "That's the 4th galaxy in 6 months." "They're burning fast," Leon whispered. Harrow stared at the data. "And still ... they haven't dared come near Earth." Across the stars, the Jern Dominion fleet floated near a dying sun. Warships drifted like shadows. On the bridge of the flagship, Supreme Warlord Jurek growled. "They watch everything," he said, voice low and bitter. "Earth sees us, but does nothing." His second-in-command nodded. "We've burned systems. Erased species, but Earth never speaks. They never send help. They just ... watch. They think silence makes them powerful," Jurek snapped. "What do we do?" Jurek slammed his fist down. "We give them a reason to speak." Back on Earth, Harrow stood in a dark room filled with silent screens. Each showed a galaxy, a war, a disaster. "Why don't we interfere?" Leon asked quietly. Harrow didn't answer. Instead, he touched a button. A hidden screen slid open. It showed a child around 13 years old reading a book. "Ty," Leon whispered. "He's still watching too." "Yes," Harrow replied. "He sees everything. He remembers everything." "And he still says not yet?" Harrow nodded. "He said they have one last mistake to make." At the edge of Earth's solar system, hidden behind the moon of Jupiter, a small satellite blinked. It saw movement in deep space, a fleet. Huge. The Jern were coming. "Do we launch defense?" Leon asked. Harrow shook his head. "We let them land." "Land? That's madness." "No," Harrow said. "That's what Ty told us." In orbit, the Jern fleet arrived like a storm. Ships blocked out the stars. "We are at Earth," the navigator announced. "Prepare landing troops," Jurek ordered. "I want their cities on fire before sunrise." "Sir," the gunner said. "No resistance detected. No shields. No signals." "They think we're afraid of their silence," Jurek said, eyes glowing. "Today they learned fear." The first drop. Ships entered Earth's atmosphere. They passed mountains, oceans, fields. No missiles. No fighters. No warnings. Just silence. Then ... Static filled their COMM. Screaming. Not voices, but something deeper. Memories. Loss. Pain. Soldier gripped their heads. "What is this?" "The pain. It's not ours. The drop ships spun, uncontrolled. Some crashed into oceans. Others burned in the sky. In space, Jurek watched in horror. "What's happening to them?" "Unknown signal," said his technician. "It's not physical, it's mental. Where is it coming from?" The tech looked at the screen. "Everywhere." Back on Earth, Ty stood in a quiet field, hands behind his back. His eyes were closed. They came, he whispered. Emily walked up behind him, and I showed them what they gave the galaxy, Ty said. Pain, fire, emptiness. You didn't fight them? No, Ty said. They fought themselves. I just helped them see. On the flagship, chaos erupted. Screens blinked red. Ship after ship shut down. The systems refused orders. And then, every screen on every ship showed Ty's face. He looked older, not a child anymore, eyes deep as time. You burned galaxies too. Feel powerful, he said. But you never looked at what was left behind, Jurek screamed. You dare! You are not punished, Ty said. You are reminded. Of what? Jurek shouted. Ty leaned forward. That we were always watching, waiting, not for war but for truth. One by one, the ships turned. No explosions. No commands. Just ... Surrender. Weapons powered down. Engines stopped. A single drone from Earth floated into orbit. It spoke. You will leave. You will return to your home. And you will not forget. Jurek fell to his knees. We understand. Earth never fired a shot, but the message was heard across every empire, every race. Humanity had watched. And that was enough. Back in the command center, Leon stared at the quiet screens. It's over? For now, Harrow said. And Ty? He's watching the stars, Harrow said. Because something worse is coming. In the sky, Ty looked up. And smiled. The galaxy buzzed with news. The great empires that had once laughed at Earth's warnings now whispered fearfully in hidden halls. But it was too late. In the heart of the galactic core, Council Leader Krath stood before the grand window, staring out at the stars. His face was pale, his hands clenched into fists. They mocked us, he said. They said we were weak, slow, and simple. Threk stepped beside him, calm but serious. We all did. And now we pay the price. Krath turned sharply. What happened? How did a single planet stop our fleets? How did one child bring our machines to their knees? Threk sighed. Because humanity is not what we thought. Their strength is in what we never understood, their unity, their code, their will. Thousands of light years away, Earth's quiet command center buzzed with activity. Captain Leon watched multiple screens, each showing fleets retreating, or destroy. Dr. Emily walked over. They finally saw it. Leon nodded. Too late. Emily smiled faintly. We gave them a chance. We warned them. But they chose pride instead of caution. Meanwhile, in a distant warship, Supreme Warlord Jurek sat alone. His once mighty fleet lay in ruins, his weapons silent, his soldiers broken. A voice echoed over the ship's speakers, Ty's voice. You asked for war. You wanted to prove your power. Jurek spat. We will return. We will rebuild. Ty's voice was calm, cold. You will never be the same. We were ready long before you arrived. You only just understood the warning. Back on Earth, Ty stood on a hill, looking at the stars. Why do they keep coming? Asked Emily softly. Ty smiled. Because they hope we will show mercy. And will we? Ty's eyes were steady. We don't need to. We just need to be ready. They finally understood. But, Emily said, they understood too late. Across the galaxy, fleets began to withdraw, their leaders silent, thoughtful, afraid. The message was clear. Never challenge humanity. Because when you do, it is already too late.